Boom, come on. And the red light, the green light, all those lights are on. It's a blessed, wonderful, beautiful, sleepless Friday night. Let's just dive right into it, shall we? Pull up a chair, episode 117. Happy to be back. Pulling up a chair, sharing my thoughts on everything unfolding in the simulation. But before we dive into any type of fun we get to have, unfortunately, do have to start this episode off just a little bit down here. Then we're going to bring it back up. But I would be doing an injustice to the culture and to the world if I didn't start this thing off by first and foremost saying R.I.P. to the late, the great, the young legend, Hayden Panettiere. R.I.P. to her, 36 years old. Obviously, that news broke earlier this week, leaving us all tremendously sad when we first heard the news, of course. I first got acquainted to Beth Cooper, to Hayden Panettiere, not through the Bring It On movies, not through Remember the Titans, not through not realizing she was in Bug's Life, because she's been a star since she was a little kid. But I got hip to her when she was in I Love You, Beth Cooper. I thought that movie was really funny. I actually thought it was really underrated. Excited to see that again as well. Obviously, her knocking the Kirby role out of the park and the Scream. She did so good in Scream 4 that they brought her back in 6. So again, I wanted to start this episode off by just taking a quick minute to say R.I.P. Hayden Panettiere. We miss you. And obviously, this whole week, everybody's been talking about you. And we just hope that there's no foul play, nothing like that. But God, it's always awful to have to start off episode and you got somebody so prominent in the culture, unfortunately, that's passed away. But like I said, I wanted to just kick it off with that, and then now we can move on. But R.I.P. to Hayden. As you can see, though, I did title the episode Doomsday, not just for clickbait, but because I do really wanted to talk about the new Avengers movie coming out. I'm not the Marvel super nerd that a lot of some people are. As you know, I'm more the wrestling nerd. But I do love me some Avengers. And I loved Infinity War. I loved Endgame. Those two are actually like kind of comfort movies for me almost. Something to just throw on as I'm going to sleep hammered. But no, shout out the new Doomsday trailers. Not one, but both of them. Both of them. I thought the way that they've showed the trailers, not really giving away too much. Obviously, there's the hint at the end of Brand New Day. Spoiler alert, but Spider Tracker. And it looks like they're going to tie Toby back into the new Avengers. I keep seeing Wolverine and him signed on for not only Doomsday, but Secret Wars as well, which will be next year. But I'm looking really forward to Doomsday. It comes out 3 days before the birthday, December 18th, excuse moi. I was a little leery going into it originally about Robert Downey Jr. reprising the role and being Doom, because I was like, well, he's been Iron Man this whole time. How are we going to just slap a new mask on him and expect everybody to forget that he was once Tony Stark? But it looks like they're actually going to be incorporating that into these two movies, and I'm looking really forward to seeing how they kind of dive into that and pick that apart. MF Doom music better be in that bitch. Yes, and I'm calling it right now. I think right at the beginning of the movie, you will hear Doomsday playing the actual song Doomsday from Doom. But yeah, they'd be doing an incredible injustice. That would be the fumble of a lifetime. That would be an Ernest Biner 90 fucking 4 fumble. That would be absolutely awful. What up, 314? What up, my dog? But yeah. Kind of just crazy to see what they've been doing and how many views and everything the trailers have gotten across just all platforms. Obviously, there's been some AI trailers. There's been some fake leak trailers. But from the two actual trailers that we've gotten, I think it looks like we're in for an absolute grand slam and an Avengers home run. Really excited to see where they take the characters through this. They got Thor. They got Captain America back. Looks like all Spider-Men are going to be all Spider-Men on deck, all X-Men on deck. Looking really forward, though, to where they take this movie, and I'm excited to see any more trailers leading up to Doomsday. But I did see Spider-Man Brand New Day, like the way that they did that and ended it as well. Also, this will be an interesting of a movie. I saw Brand New Day. This is going to be interesting. Unfortunately, I think they're killing Toby. I could see that happening, which, again, I said a spoiler alert, but I'm pretty sure that tracker in the post-credit scene is linking to Toby. I'm pretty sure that's the link as to where that is going. Oh yeah, Wolverine's in there. In fact, I think Wolverine's going to be one of the people that actually tries to persuade Toby to come help them fight this grand fight. At least just based on some of the shit that I've been seeing, just kind of observing my own stuff as I'm going as well. But yeah, they got all hands on deck. Cyclops, Mystique, Magneto, Professor Xavier. He's still ticking 26 years, how many ever later. But I'm looking really forward to see where they take that. Obviously, they had Jean Grey in the Spider-Man Brand New Day. Really loved how they incorporated that fight with the Hulk and Scorpion and everything as well. Tom Holland, man. I know I always say Tobey Maguire, the Spider Goat, but Tom Holland's making a pretty compelling case right now with this run of movies that he's been on. Hope Deadpool in there and actually gets serious. That's when he's the most scary. Oh, I think we can get a serious Deadpool. Do I think it's going to be a lot of his hokey jokey stuff? Absolutely. But like you said, whenever he gets locked in and truly focused and fired up, that creates an endless realm of possibility for where Deadpool can go. I thought that Deadpool and Wolverine movie was one of the best superhero movies I've seen since Endgame and Infinity War. But no, looking really, really forward to seeing where they take the Doomsday. Been watching some TV recently, too. I started the new season of Ted Lasso. Got back onto Apple TV. They're 3 episodes in already, and each of them is just dinger after dinger after dinger of just home runs after home runs. Jason Sudeikis, that was the role that he was born to play. I cannot stress it enough. I highly, capital H-I-G-H, recommend checking out Mr. Ted Lasso. There's a lot of layers to the guy, a lot of layers to a lot of the characters. You got Keeley, you got Coach Roy. Obviously, you got the great Rebecca, one of my favorite characters on the show. You got Higgins. But no, if you guys like a good laugh, definitely recommend checking out Ted Lasso. I am 5 episodes into The Hawk. However, I got to admit, it may have been overhyped for me a little bit. I like Will Ferrell. I love Will Ferrell. Love a lot of his work. However, though, this one's not really sit with me too well. It has some high spots in it where I'm like, okay, kind of getting somewhere, and then it just kind of feels like a setback. But overall, though, if you like The Hawk, more power to you. I made it about 5 episodes in. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to dive back in, only because, like I said, it hasn't really been pulling me too much. At least, you know, the 5 episodes that I watched, but I might get back into it. I do say, though, I don't think Hawk would be up there with Will Ferrell's best, but that's just my opinion. We got Deadpool is like Spider-Man. When they get serious, shit's about to go down. Also, as you probably already know, in Wolverine versus Deadpool, the Peter in the movie, that's all the Deadpool's love was. Oh, yeah, supposed to Peter Parker, they just didn't have the rights to use him. I do remember that, actually. Been a minute since I'd seen that, but yeah, they kept kind of like teasing him and whatnot, but they couldn't fully lock him down. But yeah, I got into the new season of Ted Lasso. Love that. Hawk, not so much. We did get a new season of Quarterbacks. For those sports fans out there, we got season 3 of the Quarterback Show, which I really love that they do that. This season focused on Joe Flacco, Jaden Daniels, Baker Mayfield, and who am I leaving out? We got Jaden Daniels, Baker Mayfield, Joe Flacco, and I kind of am forgetting the 4th name that they had in the show, but I thought they had a great new season. Obviously, Baker Mayfield, I'm always rooting for him. Cleveland, we did him so dirty. Almost killed his career, and then it almost went to Carolina to die, and then it got revived in LA, and it's fully revived over in Tampa, and I do hope he ends up getting paid as well, what he is due. The new season of Quarterback, though, man, it's badass. You get to see Joe Flacco when he started the season on the Browns and then went to like 3 to 4 different teams. You get to see the highs and lows of Jaden Daniels' season with his elbow going Willy Wonka, and then him getting hurt multiple times on the field, but still battling back. Really love that new season of that, though. And then that takes us right into, well, if we're going to talk football, it's got to come up at some point. My 49ers are already in mid-season form. Same with the Browns. We got Jerry Jeudy, couldn't catch a ball if you put it in his fucking hands because he just loves to drop it any chance he gets. He can't make a single quarterback look good because we're just going to drop. Sounds like Drake when he was saying that in Family Matters. Drop. That's what I literally hear every time I watch Jerry Jeudy suit up and play football in any fucking capacity, is watching him just drop that. That dude owes me over $600. He lost not 1, not 2, but 3 straight weeks. He blew my whole parlay up because he can't catch a fucking ball. But the Browns still have QB issues. Will they be resolved come week 1? Probably not. We could be saying that for week 1 next season, and it still probably won't be. Dylan Gabriel can't see over the offensive line. Shador Sanders is trying to get shit going with, I believe, Denzel Boston. Then you got KC Concepcion on the team as well. Jerry Jeudy, as I said, dropping them left and right. You got Deshaun Watson setting pick history in training camp and practice. Way to go. What a guy. Almost like we paid him $265 guaranteed million guaranteed human monies, and he goes out there and sets the pick record in training camp and fucking preseason. Well done, Deshaun Watson. Way to make the Browns look dead in the water before we can even sniff week 1. But then that leads it to, let's take it to the Bay, from the land of the Bay to my other team that I root for that hates me for some reason, the San Francisco 49ers, already in midseason form because we got half of our team in the blue tent in the fucking hospital. Pretty soon that blue tent's going to have to be the size of a Rick Ross mansion to fit motherfuckers in it, because I swear to God, we have more players in the hospital than we actually have on the fucking field able to play. But we got guys returning to injury. George Kittle, we got Debo back. Hashtag Debo down there somewhere. Let's go, baby. We got Brock Purdy looking good. We got Christian McCaffrey not practicing, so we're not making the right sacrifices to the substation because we need CMC's legs to work and move forward come week 1, because I'm getting PTSD of when this shit happened 2 seasons ago and that motherfucker barely played all season. But CMC, we are pulling for you. I swear to God, if I hear any news come out that says you're going to miss X amount of games, I am going to personally go to San Francisco with a fucking 2 cans of gasoline, and I will burn that substation down till it's fucking ash and dirt and dust. Because how dare my Niners keep going down like that before they even get a fucking chance. But there's my football rant for the week. Now here's time for another rant to end on before we talk some wrestling. LeBron, the GOAT, a.k.a. Mr. Makes GO stand for goes on another team, is now a Philadelphia 76ers. I'm sure you guys have all seen. Whoop-de-fucking-do-da-day. Hope he goes there and doesn't even sniff the finals. In fact, I hope he barely even gets into the playoffs, which, truthfully, I don't think the Sixers can beat the Cavs. I don't think the Sixers can beat the New York Knicks in a 7-game series. I don't care if they got Joel Embiid, who said he's going to play all season. All right, buddy, you want to make it 82 games. How about you try to make it 82 minutes before we start talking about 82 games, dog? One at a time, brother. But then we got Jaylen Brown there as well. And then that's when LeBron said, oh, my God, look at that. Another layup of a ring opportunity. Let me see if I can go and get an easy one. But that just goes right back to what I said, man. Like I said, if LeBron's the GOAT to y'all, that's fine. You're entitled to feel that way. To me, he's the GOAT of goes on another team. Something doesn't start working out well somewhere else. The well starts running a little bit dry and there's a hole in the ship, and he jumps to another motherfucker that has full sails and no dents in it. Which, hey, who knows? Might work out for him going to Philly. But personally, I think it's just not. I think it's going to be a bust. He signed a 2-year deal. Then it looks like he'll ride off into the sunset. Personally, I don't want to see him get another ring because it's just going to fuel the LeBron's the GOAT debaters with another fucking asterisk, if you ask me, on it. Because ever since the Boston Celtics did that shit with the ticket, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, LeBron saw that and said, oh my God, that's brilliant. I'm going to do that for the rest of my fucking career, and played a lot of 97, and then my son can go sink in fucking LA. But that's just my personal opinion. LeBron is like 3 times my size. 1 year he was flopping like crazy. If I slightly bumped into him, he would probably fly across the court. That's why I wasn't shocked when LeBron got into acting. I'm like, he's fucking phenomenal at that. This dude could have been a pro wrestler with the way he sells some of these bumps. Like you said, you breathe on him the wrong way, and he's selling like Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam 05 with Hogan. He's taking the craziest bumps looking for these fouls. But no, LeBron, man, not the GOAT in my book. I'm sure that's going to stir some people up on the TikTok and Twitter and whatnot. But with that being said, it's Mr. Keep the Love High and the Hate Low. Wake up with a smile on. Remind yourselves of 3 things you're grateful for. And most importante, you look in that motherfucking mirror and you say, I love you. Big cheers, big pros. Love y'all. Don't go nowhere. About to fire this thing back up for some bumps and bruises and talk a little bit of wrestling. Peace.